The space dock floated silently near a bright, blue-green planet. It was enormous. Hundreds of alien ships lined the docking bays, and diplomats from countless races walked along the wide platforms. The air was calm, filled with pride. Today was meant for peace, not war. The Galactic Council had sent word. A human shuttle would arrive for negotiations. Nothing more. Nothing dangerous. That was what every alien commander expected. At the control tower, alien officers monitored sensors. Small green blips appeared on the screen. "Human shuttle incoming," one officer said. Everyone nodded. Routine procedure. Then the readings changed. The blips grew larger. Faster. Too fast. The radar alarm sounded. "What is that?" an alien commander asked, frowning. Before anyone could answer, a massive shape appeared from hyperspace. The alien diplomats gasped. Their eyes widened. The shuttle they had expected was gone. In its place was a gigantic human battleship. Its hull was long and dark, engines glowing blue, weapon systems faintly humming. It radiated power. The air felt heavy. The aliens whispered among themselves. Some laughed nervously, thinking it was a bluff. Others froze in fear. This was no simple shuttle. This was a war machine. On the dock, alien diplomats tried to act normal. "Perhaps it is a mistake," one said. "Maybe the humans sent something larger by accident." But their voices trembled. The battleship did not slow down. It did not respond to any communications. It simply glided toward the dock with unstoppable calm. Inside the ship, humans were quiet. The captain watched the alien fleet through the bridge window. No panic. No anger. Just observation. Every movement of the aliens was recorded. Every weak decision noted. The first alien warship moved to intercept. Its weapons charged and energy beams glowed as they locked onto the human battleship. A council officer cheered. "Finally. Show them our strength." But the beams never hit. They fizzled out before reaching the human ship. Energy shields silently absorbed every attack. The alien ship shuddered, its systems failing. Engines sputtered. Alarm lights blinked red. The alien commander's mouth went dry. "Impossible," he whispered. "Their shields, they absorb everything." Another fleet tried. Another failed. Panic spread across the dock. Diplomats stopped moving. Soldiers froze at their stations. The humans had not fired a single shot, and yet alien ships were already crippled. Then a voice echoed through the dock. "Come. Clear. Human. You were expecting a shuttle," it said. "We brought this instead." A tremor ran through the dock. The aliens stared at the massive battleship, its engines glowing brighter. The voice continued, without anger, without threat, only certainty. "We came to negotiate, or to stop you." The alien leaders whispered to each other. Some wanted to flee. Others wanted to fire everything they had. But the humans were already everywhere. Every escape route, every approach, every jump point, they controlled them all without leaving their dock. In the control tower, alarms screamed. "All communication down. Weapons offline," cried an alien officer. Alien soldiers scrambled to repair systems, but it was too late. The human ship had disabled everything silently. Not with violence, but with precise technology far beyond anything the aliens could match. The council's diplomats stepped back. Fear replaced pride. They had laughed at humans for their small fleets, for their supposedly weak technology. Now they realized how wrong they had been. On the dock, an alien ambassador tried to speak over the loudspeakers. We can come to an agreement. Peace." Pause. The human voice came again. "Peace is possible," it said, "but only if threats end. You must leave your arrogance and your weapons behind." The aliens froze. The words were simple, but the meaning was clear. This was not just a warning. This was a lesson. One that would change their understanding of humans forever. The massive human battleship rotated slowly, its glowing engines lighting up the dock. Alien ships twitched, desperate to escape, but there was no route left. The humans had already positioned themselves to control every path. The dock was a trap, but not one built to kill. A trap built to teach. Some aliens whispered among themselves, fear thick in their voices. "They are patient," one said, "and far smarter than us. We thought we were strong." A tremor ran across the dock as small systems failed. A minor explosion in one bay sent ships tilting dangerously. The alien commanders realized the truth. They were completely outmatched. Not by numbers, not by strength, but by intelligence, strategy, and restraint. The human captain spoke one last time. "Come. Certain. Clear. You are testing patience. Humans never break. They adapt. And now, you will see the consequences of your choices. The camera panned across the dock. Hundreds of alien eyes stared at the massive battleship. They had expected a shuttle. They were not ready for humanity's ultimate power. And the galaxy was about to learn. Humans do not fight to show strength. They fight to end threats. The alien dock was in chaos. Alarms blared across the platforms, red lights flashing over rows of ships. Alien commanders ran back and forth, shouting orders, trying to bring some control to the disaster that was unfolding. The massive human battleship hovered silently, engines glowing, weapon systems humming faintly. It did not attack. It did not move aggressively. Yet every alien ship felt the weight of its presence. It was as if the humans controlled the space itself. In the control tower, the silver-skinned alien commander slammed a clawed hand on the console. "Report," he yelled. "Why are our systems failing?" "Shields, weapons, communications," a junior officer stammered. "All offline. Nothing responds. We cannot touch the human ship." The commander's eyes widened in shock. "Impossible. This is just a single ship." A human voice echoed across the dock's communication channels. "Calm, clear, confident. You rely on numbers. We rely on strategy." Every alien froze. No one had expected this. Not just size, not just power, but intelligence. Humans were thinking 3 steps ahead, and the aliens were still reacting to the first step. Nearby, alien diplomats tried to regain composure. "We can still negotiate," one cried. But the human ship did not reply. It did not need to. Its presence was enough. Every escape route, every docking bay, every jump point was subtly blocked by the humans. Not with force, but with calculated precision. Outside the control tower, smaller alien ships attempted to flee. They launched their engines and fired their weapons. Beams of energy shot toward the human battleship. For a moment, hope flickered. Then the beams stopped mid-flight. Energy fizzled. Ships shuddered and drifted helplessly. One by one, alien ships were disabled without a single human weapon firing directly. The silver-skinned commander's voice shook. "How is this possible?" A young alien officer whispered, almost to himself. "They are controlling the battlefield before it begins." On the dock, panic grew. Diplomats screamed at soldiers to fire, to defend the peace talks, to do anything. The humans did not move. They simply observed. The glow of their engines bathed the dock in a soft blue light. The aliens could see nothing but calm efficiency. Then the human voice spoke again. "You were expecting a shuttle," it said. "We brought something else." The words were simple, but their meaning was terrifying. The humans were not here for a shuttle. They were not here for diplomacy in the usual sense. They had come to demonstrate power, to teach a lesson, and to show that the galaxy had misjudged them. A small alien fleet attempted to encircle the human battleship. They thought they could trap it in numbers. Within seconds, every ship in that group was disabled. Engines stopped. Weapons shut down. Communications dead. Crew scrambled desperately, but it was useless. The human ship had planned this long before it arrived. From the bridge of the human ship, the captain watched the display calmly. Every movement was anticipated. Every reaction calculated. No anger. No excitement. Just observation. "Do they understand?" one human officer asked. "They will," the captain replied. "They always do, eventually." Back on the dock, a captured alien ship floated silently in a holding bay. The crew inside stared at the humans who entered. They moved like shadows, precise and silent. No threats, no violence. Yet the aliens felt more danger from their calm steps than any energy weapon. A human officer spoke quietly to the alien crew. "You will see now why humans are patient," the officer said. "We do not fight for pride. We fight to end threats. And now you are part of the lesson." The alien commander swallowed hard. Fear mixed with awe. They had expected a shuttle. They had prepared for diplomacy. Instead, they were facing the full intelligence and power of humanity. Across the dock, the silver-skinned commander tried to gather his fleet. "Retreat. Fall back to the secondary docks. Do not engage." But it was too late. The humans had already sealed every path. The aliens were trapped, not by force but by strategy. Every ship on the dock felt the weight of the human presence. Silence fell except for the alarms and the hum of failing systems. Alien diplomats and soldiers alike realized the truth. They were not dealing with a normal enemy. They were dealing with a species that could outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast them. The human captain broadcast a final message across the dock. "You are testing patience. Humans do not break. They adapt." And now, you will see the cost of underestimating us. The alien swallowed hard. The dock trembled as minor systems failed. Engines stalled. Ships drifted helplessly. For the first time, the aliens understood fully, this was not war yet. But it was only a matter of time before humanity would show what true power meant. The alien dock was paralyzed. Every fleet, every ship, every weapon was either offline or crippled. Alien commanders shouted orders, but the humans had already thought of every move. Panic spread like wildfire. Inside the massive human battleship, the captain observed quietly. Every display showed the dock's layout, the fleets, the energy grids, and the escape routes. Every alien move was anticipated. No chaos went unnoticed. "We need to strike," one junior officer said. The captain shook his head. "Not yet. Let them see. Let them learn." Outside, small alien ships tried again to flee. Engines roared, weapons fired, but it was useless. Every attempt to escape was blocked. The humans had positioned their ship perfectly. Not aggressively but with absolute control. One alien commander, silver-skinned and proud, growled in frustration. "This is impossible. How can a single ship do this?" The answer came slowly. Not through weapons but through observation. The aliens were outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outplanned. Every human strike, or even threat of a strike, was calculated to show power without unnecessary destruction. A captured alien vessel floated silently in the holding bay. Humans boarded it. They moved silently, quickly, and efficiently. Alien soldiers expected pain or terror, but there was none. Only observation and precision. "You will understand," a human officer said quietly. "Humans do not fight for pride. We fight to end threats. Not to destroy unnecessarily. Not to dominate. But if forced we can, and we will." The alien crew felt fear, awe, and confusion all at once. They had expected a shuttle. They had expected diplomacy. Instead, they faced a species that could remove fleets without firing a single shot directly. Meanwhile, across the dock, alien fleets attempted to regroup. They formed defensive lines. They fired weapons. They tried to retreat. Every move failed. Human ships silently intercepted each path, disabling weapons, engines, and communications without aggression. The humans had already won control of the battlefield. One alien officer whispered to his commander, voice shaking, "They are not even trying to fight us fully, and we are already trapped." The silver-skinned commander's hands trembled. "This is beyond anything I have seen." The human captain broadcast another message to the dock. Calm, authoritative, and precise. "You are testing patience. Humans do not break. They adapt. You underestimate us at your own risk. Every action you take has been anticipated. Every weakness recorded. Every miscalculation noted. You cannot escape." Every alien on the dock felt the weight of those words. Not as a threat but as truth. Small skirmishes erupted around the dock. Human squads boarded disabled alien ships silently, taking control without violence. Alien soldiers surrendered, trembling. Diplomats could not hide their fear. They realized they had misjudged humanity for the last time. The human captain continued to watch. No celebration. No pride. Only strategy. Every human action taught a lesson. Humans were patient, clever, and unstoppable when necessary. Back at the control tower, alien commanders tried one last desperate tactic. They sent a massive signal requesting council intervention, threatening retaliation. But it was too late. The humans had already blocked communications with every system. The council could not interfere. Every escape route was sealed. Every fleet incapacitated. Even the most powerful alien warship near the dock was disabled. Its engines failed, weapons offline. The crew panicked, shouting orders, firing randomly. Nothing worked. The humans moved like shadows, unseen and precise, controlling the battlefield without firing a single energy beam at this moment. The captured alien commander, still aboard the human ship, finally understood. You are not just strong," he whispered. "You are everywhere." A human officer nodded. "We do not fight for glory. We fight for survival. And we do not make mistakes when survival is on the line." The silver-skinned commander on the dock collapsed into a chair. "We expected diplomacy. We expected a shuttle. Not this," he said, staring at the massive battleship. The humans broadcast one final message for Part 3. "This is not war, yet. But you are learning the cost of underestimating humans." The dock trembled as minor explosions and system failures continued. The aliens had no escape. No control. Only fear and awe. Humanity had shown its power. Without pride, without anger, without unnecessary destruction. The dock, once a symbol of alien strength and diplomacy, had become a lesson in patience, strategy, and HFY dominance. The aliens understood one thing clearly: humans were nothing to be underestimated. And if pushed, they could be unstoppable. The alien dock was in complete chaos. Alarms screamed, lights flickered, and the few remaining operational ships trembled under the silent presence of the human battleship. Alien commanders ran between control stations, shouting orders that no system could follow. Every plan, every weapon, every escape route had failed. The silver-skinned commander slammed his claws against the console. All systems offline. Shields down. Weapons unresponsive. His voice trembled, more from fear than anger. The smaller alien officer with dark scales whispered to himself, "They control everything," without even firing a shot. Across the dock, alien diplomats tried to speak, to plead for negotiation, but their voices went unheard. The humans did not need to speak. They controlled the battlefield through presence and precision alone. Outside the dock, alien fleets scrambled. Ships fired blindly into the void. Engines flared as crews tried to flee. Every escape attempt failed. Human ships appeared ahead of them, blocking paths, disabling engines silently. Every movement the aliens made had already been predicted. One alien officer, silver-skinned and proud, shouted, "Retreat! All ships retreat now!" But the humans did not chase. They simply positioned themselves, controlling space without violence. They had already won. The aliens were trapped. The dock shook as minor explosions rattled structures. A fleet of smaller alien ships tried a coordinated attack on the human battleship. Energy beams fired, weapons flared. For a moment, hope flickered. Then the beams fizzled out. One by one, the attacking ships were disabled. Engines failed. Weapons offline. Communications dead. Every vessel became helpless. The humans did not fire directly, they simply controlled every variable. Inside the dock's control tower, panic had reached its peak. The council had sent an urgent message: "Evacuate the dock. Withdraw immediately." The message never reached anyone. The humans had already blocked all communication. The dock was cut off. The silver-skinned commander looked at the holographic map. Every exit, every jump point, every defensive station was under human control. "Impossible," he whispered. "A single ship controls all of this?" The smaller alien officer spoke quietly, almost sadly. "We underestimated them. We thought humans were weak, small, slow. We were wrong. Terribly wrong." Across the dock, a human broadcast echoed. Calm, clear, confident. "You sought diplomacy. You brought weapons. You expected weakness. We bring lessons. Your arrogance ends here." The words were simple but heavy. Every alien on the dock felt them deep in their chest. Fear and awe replaced pride. The humans moved quietly but deliberately. Boarding parties entered disabled ships silently. Alien crews were captured without struggle. They expected rage, they expected violence. They found none. Only calm, precision, and observation. The dock itself trembled as more systems failed. Energy grids shut down. Communication lines went silent. Alien soldiers clutched their weapons, realizing they could not fire or escape. They were trapped. The silver-skinned commander turned to his officers. "Prepare the fleet for a final strike. If we destroy their ship, maybe we can escape." The smaller alien officer shook his head. "No. Every path is blocked. Every system is under control. You cannot win. You only delay what is coming." At that moment, the massive human battleship rotated slowly. Its glowing engines reflected off the dock, casting long shadows. The human voice came again, calm but deadly. "You attacked first. You underestimated us. You will now face the consequences of arrogance." Every alien froze. The dock trembled under the silent threat. No beams fired. No explosions needed. Just presence and calculated control. The humans had demonstrated the lesson. The alien fleets in nearby space tried one last desperate maneuver. They attempted to form a blockade, hoping to protect the dock or escape through gaps. But every move was anticipated. Every fleet was disabled before it could act. Engines failed. Weapons offline. Communication blocked. The council's leaders watched helplessly from the main chamber. Panic replaced pride. Fear replaced strategy. They had assumed humans were a minor species, easy to manipulate. Now they realized the truth: humans were patient, clever, and unstoppable when pushed. The human captain broadcast one final message for Part 4. This is the cost of arrogance. We do not seek to destroy. We seek to survive. And we will remove any threat before it grows. The dock fell silent. Alien diplomats and soldiers looked at the massive battleship, understanding fully for the first time. The humans had not fought aggressively. They had not needed to. Their control, strategy, and patience had already won. The galaxy, watching through sensors and distant fleets, would never forget this lesson. Humans were no ordinary species. They were something else entirely. And now the dock, and every alien present, understood one undeniable truth. There was no escape from humanity once they decided to act. The alien dock trembled under the silent power of the massive human battleship. Red lights flashed across the platforms, alarms screamed endlessly, and alien commanders ran in panic, trying to regain control. Every system, shields, weapons, engines, communications, was dead. Every path of escape blocked. Every plan failed. The silver-skinned commander stood at the center of the control room. His claws clenched tight. Sweat ran down his forehead. His pride was gone. We are finished, he whispered. The smaller alien officer with dark scales looked at him calmly. We were warned. We ignored it. Now we pay the price. A human broadcast echoed through the dock. Come. Clear. Dominant. You were given a chance for diplomacy, the voice said. You brought arrogance instead. Your fleets are disabled. Your systems are offline. Your leaders are trapped. The dock belongs to humans now. Alien diplomats froze. Some whispered pleas for mercy. Others turned pale, realizing there would be no negotiation this time. The humans did not fire a single weapon directly. They did not need to. Their control, strategy, and patience had already won. Every alien understood this in their bones. In the docking bay, human squads moved silently. Disabled alien ships floated helplessly. Crew members surrendered without resistance. Humans did not shout. They did not threaten. They simply boarded, secured the ships, and made the aliens realize they were completely powerless. A captured alien commander, trembling, asked a human officer, "Why spare us? Why not destroy everything?" The human officer looked at him calmly. Because we are not monsters. But we can be lethal when forced. You brought this on yourselves. The alien commander shivered. He understood the lesson completely. Humans were patient. Humans were clever. And when they acted, no one could escape their reach. Back in the control tower, the silver-skinned commander tried one last desperate act. Prepare a final strike. All weapons, destroy the human battleship now. The smaller alien officer shook his head. No. Every path is blocked. Every weapon disabled. You cannot win. Every move has been anticipated. Outside, the human battleship rotated slowly. Its glowing engines cast long shadows across the dock. A calm, confident human voice echoed. This is your final warning. You cannot escape. You cannot fight. You cannot survive if you continue your arrogance. Surrender, and the lesson will end peacefully. Every alien on the dock felt the weight of the words. Not as a threat but as truth. Finally, the Council's fleet commanders admitted defeat. One by one, the fleet ceased movement. Weapons powered down. Engines went silent. Communications stopped. The dock, once a symbol of alien pride and power, was under complete human control. The silver-skinned commander slumped into a chair. His eyes, wide with fear and awe, stared at the massive battleship. We expected diplomacy, we expected a shuttle, not this. The human captain's voice broadcast across the dock once more. We do not fight for glory. We do not fight for conquest. We fight to survive. And we will remove any threat before it grows. You underestimated humans, and now you understand. A human officer walked calmly across the main docking bay. Alien diplomats and commanders watched silently. No chains. No weapons aimed. No threat of violence. Only presence, control, and authority. You will leave the dock in peace, the human officer said. But remember this lesson. Humanity does not attack first. But if provoked, we finish the threat. The aliens understood fully. Fear and respect filled their hearts. This was not anger. This was patience, intelligence, and unstoppable power. The human battleship prepared to depart. Engines glowed, powerful and steady. Humans had not destroyed cities. They had not slaughtered crews. They had only demonstrated the cost of arrogance, the consequence of underestimating humanity. The silver-skinned commander, smaller officer, and all alien diplomats knew the truth. Humans did not need to destroy to dominate. Their strategy, patience, and intelligence made them unstoppable. The dock was silent. Systems offline. Fleets paralyzed. Diplomats and commanders humbled. Humans had delivered their judgment without a single destructive shot. The captain of the human ship broadcast one final line. "This ends now. Do not forget what you have seen. Never underestimate humanity again." The alien dock trembled one last time as human ships glided silently into space. Their lesson was complete. The galaxy had been warned. The alien dock was quiet. Not the fragile, uneasy silence of fear, but a deep, heavy silence filled with awe and understanding. Every system offline, every ship disabled, every alien commander humbled. The humans had left, but their presence lingered, echoing in every corner of the dock. The silver-skinned commander sat alone in the control tower, staring at the empty space where the massive battleship had departed. His pride was gone. His hands trembled as he whispered to himself, "We expected a shuttle, not this." The smaller alien officer with dark scales approached. "We underestimated them," he said quietly. "And now the galaxy knows what humans can do." The council, once proud and unyielding, had learned its lesson. Diplomats whispered among themselves, trying to explain what had happened. Their arrogance had been replaced with fear and respect. Humanity had shown its power, not through rage but through patience, intelligence, and precise strategy. In orbit, the human battleship glided calmly through space. No celebration, no triumphant displays. Only quiet authority. Humans had delivered their judgment and left the dock intact. No lives had been lost unnecessarily. No cities destroyed. Every move had been calculated to teach, not to destroy. The human captain turned to the crew on the bridge. "This is the lesson," the captain said. "We do not fight for glory. We fight to survive. And we do not forget those who threaten us." The crew nodded. They understood fully. Humanity had once again shown the galaxy that they were patient, but unstoppable when cornered. Across the stars, alien species recorded the event. Sensors, observers, and scouts sent data back to their worlds. Every fleet commander, diplomat, and citizen who saw the reports understood the same truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. A young alien commander whispered to his mentor as they studied the images. "Why didn't humans destroy the dock completely?" The mentor looked at the stars, eyes thoughtful. "Because humans do not need to destroy to dominate. Their patience and intelligence make them unstoppable. They fight only when forced. And when they do, no one can stop them." Back on Earth, the human fleet returned to its home stations. Ships were repaired. Crews debriefed. Plans were studied for future contingencies. Nothing had changed on Earth itself. The humans had only demonstrated their capability, leaving a galaxy-wide warning behind. "The galaxy will remember," one officer said. "And they will respect us." Another nodded. "Or fear us. And that is just as effective." In the Galactic Council's former chambers, the alien leaders held an emergency meeting. The dock incident had changed everything. Systems were still offline. Fleets remained paralyzed. Diplomacy had failed before it even began. The lesson was clear. Underestimate humans at your own peril. The smaller alien officer with dark scales recorded one final message for all alien species. Never corner humans. Never threaten their home. Never assume they will surrender. The cost of arrogance is your own survival. The humans continued their exploration of the stars. New systems, new worlds, new life waited. Their ships glided silently, unchallenged, prepared for anything, but always measured, always calm. On the edge of the galaxy, a scout asked, "What if a new threat arises?" The captain smiled slightly. "Then humans will meet it. Always prepared. Always patient. Always unbeatable when cornered." The galaxy would never forget the dock. The disabled fleets. The calm, unstoppable human battleship. It was a lesson in restraint, intelligence, and absolute power. Every alien species knew it. Humans do not fight to show strength. They fight to survive. And when the time comes, they finish the threat completely. The stars were quiet again. But the echo of that lesson would travel forever. Humans are patient. Humans are clever. Humans are unstoppable when forced. Never underestimate them.